So the best way to figure out that you're not a gymnast is to spurt blood all over your teammates. This is what I learned when I was 11 years old at gymnastics summer camp during lunch, when I opened a can of mini tuna fish lunchable thing, and all of a sudden I looked down and everything was red, and everybody around me, all the other kids, got up, started screaming, and then ran away. And so I was just like very confused, and I didn't realize that I had cut myself until a few moments later, and the world was starting to move in slow motion. And everybody had run away, and it was just me and my blood spurting everywhere. And some people had blood on them, and it was all over everyone's food, and it was all over like the gym floor and all the gymnastic stuff. And so then all of a sudden, I was like, okay, I cut myself. What do I do? Everybody ran away. I guess I should like get up, but I couldn't move. I was like kind of in shock, and in the meantime I'm like, it's like a waterfall of blood here. And this one counselor, there's a bunch of counselors standing like in a little group in the corner, all starting to notice me, and a few of them just like stared at me wide-eyed, except for one, and his name I believe was Charlie. We'll call him Charlie because I think that was his name. He ran over to me as everybody else was running away. He picked me up, he took me over to the water fountain to like rinse off the wound or to see what was going on with it. And as everyone else had like frozen and was like staring at me, and I was like now covered in my own blood, and it's just like getting to be a more gory scene by the second, he just kept saying to me like, "Girl, you cool girl." And I'm like, "I'm cool, you think I'm cool?" And he's like, "Girl, you cool. Just relax, you cool." And he was running my finger under the water of the water fountain and like kind of petting me, saying, "You cool, girl." And then he would snap his head over and be like, "Get the paper towels, God damn it." So then all these other kids are like frantically like bringing him paper towels, which he's just smashing into my finger trying to stop this. Now it's like a sprinkler system of blood. So I realized a few minutes later, like, okay, that's what happened. I cut my finger on a tuna can at gymnastics camp. And I don't think I'm going to be coming back to gymnastics camp because I don't picture myself doing handstands with an open flesh wound for the rest of the summer. So my dad came and picked me up and took me to the doctor, and I didn't need any stitches, which was nice because Charlie had somehow stopped the bleeding by taking like every single paper towel in the building, and I had like this growth of this pink red blob of wet paper towel off my finger. And so it healed a few weeks later, and I realized I'm not meant to be a gymnast. Like, couldn't I have just like torn an ACL or something normal, So from that experience I kind of like stayed away from athletics in general after that, because felt like if I'm going to get injured at camp doing something sportsy, I should do something cool, like a real injury, but not really humiliate myself in front of everybody and then get my blood everywhere. But it was thanks to Charlie that, the wound healed and I have a cool scar for it. But about a year later, I heard that Charlie was unfortunately killed in a motorcycle accident. He just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's really tragic. And looking back on it now, nobody else in that room came over to help me except for him. And he was, not trained to be like a medical professional. I'm sure they all had to learn like CPR to be a camp counselor and stuff, but he was, an athletic guy just trying to teach kids how to be athletic and stuff. And he was the only person who actually came over and tried to handle the situation, was not like blinded by shock. And I look back on that now in this little scar from that can of tuna, which I also don't eat very much anymore, that was a defining moment in his short life that he didn't know would be a defining moment, because he stepped up to the plate and he went in when everyone else was leaving. So that's why, for this scar, I think of him really fondly, and I think that's a great life lesson for everybody. It's just, when there's an urgent moment, you can either step up or run away, and that's what he did for me. He stepped up.